guys. Okay, and we are now live with our SP Podcast Friday, March 10th, right? Joining us here at the SP Studios is Alexandra Spillenberg, go. That is like the longest name ever. Also, Yassine Aliba. And of course, Aramis Crane. And your host with the most, it's me, Mr. John. Cue the music. I think the music just cut off by itself, guys. Okay, well, welcome, guys. And guess what? Our topic today is it's PS4 or PS5 versus Xbox X. That's a pretty spirited conversation. Wouldn't you agree? Now,
Yeah.
We've tried the Xbox X because we have it here, but Ali actually has both. He's got the PS5 and he's got the Xbox X, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Ali, please take it away. What do you think? In your opinion, because you have both, enlighten us.
Well, technically, as much as I love PlayStation, there's only two games it doesn't have. Those two games are Forza Horizon, the Forza series, and Halo series. Well, there are games like Gran Turismo that you cannot play on the Xbox, which I also like Gran Turismo. Both are great for Call of Duty, both of them are great for GTA. It says it depends on. You can play very much like the Spider-Man game on Xbox, which I don't care about Spider-Man as much as I care for like the DC games like Arkham, Injustice.
So you're not a Marvel guy.
No.
Right? Okay, all right. Let's move over to Yassine. Yassine, what do you think?
With the PS4 and the brand new Xbox controller, actually, people are saying that the brand new Xbox controller is like way much better compared to a PS4 controller. I mean, it's just on people's preference, but it's me. I like the brand new controller because it's much heavier. You can customize it. I think it's pretty good, with my opinion.
Okay, because the controller, I think Yassine's got.
Actually, I agree on that. It has more like rumbling because the last one also had some like vibration. This one has even more vibration than the last one because comparing vibrations, the PS5 vibration with old games is just really boring. It's you can feel it, but it's not gonna. You cannot feel the entire thing. Unlike Series X, you can feel everything no matter what game you are in, like the vibration wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, vibration is pretty important, right?
Yep.
Well, Aramis, what do you think?
About the PS4 or the PS5 or Xbox. Well, I don't have a PS5 or PlayStation, so I really can't just choose which one's better. But like, so far about the Xbox controllers, the Elite series, I think it's pretty decent. But for me, it really doesn't matter what controller I play. It's like, I just feel like it's pure skill that makes you get good at games.
Right, so basically skill over technology, right? It's not the controller, it's the gamer, right guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so we all agree it's about the gamer, right?
Yeah, I agree because back in elementary and middle school, I wasn't the best in terms of game wise until I learned the controls. And once I learned that I can handle more skills, and the more skills I gain, the more better I become. And therefore, you can kind of feel this grip based on for me, as a gamer, I think there are people that may have to learn, and some people were born to with their controlling, because being born with those skills means your parents were good, but learning, on the other hand, your parents weren't with those gaming devices. well, you have to literally adapt at a young age or half your age or something like that to even learn how to play games and be good.
Well, yeah, you got a good point there, Ali. In fact, do you know if your parents ever played video games when they grew up? No? What about you? What about your parents? Do you think they played video games?
I think they did.
They did?
Yeah.
Right? Ali, I'm sure your mom or dad probably
No, they
They
barely.
didn't? Really? Wow.
My mom was busy doing sports while my dad was playing chess.
Gotcha.
So basically,
Chess. Wow. Okay.
well,
Old
technically,
school.
chess is like, it's not totally a video game, but it is considered one of those games ever. But, there's a joke going around in the chess community is some people are waiting for chess 2 to come out. Which, who knows when that's going to happen. Unlike sports, there's always new sports coming out every year. The sports you never heard of.
It's true. There's new innovative sports.
Yes,
all
and
the
then
time.
some people, speaking of sports, some people say that gaming is not a sport. For me, in a way, gaming is a sport because there's leagues, there's teams,
Mhm.
you're facing against people.
You're right. And
There's
there's also teamwork, collaboration, right? Do you remember your very first video game?
I forgot what mine was.
You forgot already?
Mine was like
My
World,
first
mine was World of Warcraft on PC
Okay, on the PC. What about you,
in
Anders?
2000s.
I'm pretty sure my first game was on either a DS Lite or a Game Boy.
Wow, that was.
I think
that
mine.
was-
I think mine was either a 3DS or a DS. I think.
Wow.
Well, unless you count those like little McDonald's
Well,
things that in
yeah.
the 2000s, because in the 2000s, McDonald's had this tone line where you can play like Bandicoot
Mhm.
and Skylinks, and you play those were like
Those are little
Right.
handheld games.
yeah,
right?
but those were handheld games made by McDonald's. Which, speaking of McDonald's, I think if McDonald's listening to this, please go back to that and figure out your stuff. Because you're losing your demographics. But if you add more gamer, like ish kind of companies, I'm pretty sure people will buy Happy Meals.
Sure, hey, well, get a Happy Meal and a video game at the same time. Looking back, my very first video game was a game called Pong. Have you ever heard of Pong?
I believe so.
Wow.
My mom told me about it. I think she played it.
Yeah.
It was like, it was on TV, you had to set it up, and then you had this like this machine, so we could like, use this stick.
Yeah.
And
it's
I think
actually-
like Punk,
You
it was
slide it,
one of the
right?
first,
It was-
like, I think, Punk was one of the first video games that was ever played
Mhm.
on TV.
It was. In
But
fact, it was
imagine-
on TV. There was
But
no money.
imagine a modern version of Punk, where instead of, like, you're going back and forth, it's more 3D, like, it's more realistic.
Somebody should come up with an idea. But when it first came out years ago, when I was, I don't know, maybe 9 years old, right? It's probably dating, showing how, I don't say old I am, but certainly my age. You had a TV. It was black and white. You had these little rotating,
Yes,
bars.
dimensional game
Yeah,
console.
exactly. So two paddles basically,
It's
and
called a
one person.
sketch.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had a little square ball that went left and right,
Yeah,
and it was kind of like hockey, right?
it will show how far vegans are going for.
Yeah, and then-
From
And
ping
some people are still
pong.
using it as of today.
Probably. In fact,
To,
there's
like,
probably a museum piece
GTA.
now. But when we saw it on the screen, our minds were blown because
I
these
bet,
speakers swore.
I bet.
Their sound,
Oh yeah.
granted, sound was a couple of beeps.
Well, for me, I feel like the game Punk and the console will be. I think you had to pay a lot of money to get something like that these days because it's so old and classic. But if you were to keep the original and you still have the original, you'd be quite rich. Like you'd be like a lot of money there.
Well, it's collector's piece. I don't know about rich, but there's a couple of games, believe it or not, that became collector's items, right? Years ago.
Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo too, but even before Nintendo, there was a system called the Atari 2600, right? And that revolutionized home gaming. And over the course of the next few weeks, all of you guys will have a chance to play some Atari 2600 games.
Oh,
I'd love to
speaking
get
of
your
like
feedback.
like retro gaming. I have a friend who's now in college, but I befriended him when I was in college, and he had tons of retro consoles and games. It's like, wow, it's like, oh my god, this man's gonna be rich soon. Yeah,
Well, you know, again, it could be a big collection. I don't know how rich you're gonna really get. You can't go out and buy a car with it or a house, right? But going back to my story on the Atari 2600, do you remember a movie called E.T.?
Oh, E.T. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
remember E.T. like E.T. falling home, right?
got that little touch.
Exactly. So Atari came out with a game called E.T. and it was a bust. It was probably the worst video game made for the Atari, or probably any console in the history of video games. It was that bad, right? So what did the company do? They had thousands and thousands of these game cartridges that they couldn't sell. So here's what they did. They took it all. Yeah, no, they took it all together. They buried it in a dumpster.
What?
Wow.
Like thousands and thousands of ET video game cartridges. They buried it in some dumpster, trash dumpster. And guess what? A couple of years ago, somebody filmed a documentary about the missing ET cartridges. And he went to that dumpster and he filmed it, dug it up, and there you go. He found the motherload of ET cartridges, right?
Well, I can imagine if some, like, I won't say dumb, but I would say some dumb person were to revive E.T. or terms of the game and make it like a modern version. And like, if they do, please don't make it suck.
Yeah, please. Maybe just, maybe we should just put it to bed and not have ET ever come back. He phoned home, he went home, he's not coming back. Anyway, guys, that just about does it for 10 minutes. Thank you guys for your input. Looks like our producers are turning the music back on, which means that our show is about to end. But thank you guys for joining us. This has been John. This has been
Can you see me?
And Aramis.
all right. And until next time, guys, thank you for joining us.